Hello, welcome to Verbling. I'm teacher Oakley, and for the next hour or so, we're going to continue our series of classes looking at collocations, learning some vocabulary in a phrasal style. Okay, groups of words that are often spoken together in conversational English, some more formal, some less formal. Today, and actually tomorrow as well, two-part mini-series within the series, we're going to be looking at some kind of maybe confusing collocations, words that go together. We're going to look at some synonymous words, words with the same exact meaning, but things like verbs, verbs that work with one object noun, but a similar verb with the same meaning will not work with that object noun. So these are almost by definition very strict collocations, and it sounds very strange if you don't use those two words together. So today, rather than as we normally do, look at a specific topic, we're actually looking at different kinds of words that really have tight, strict collocations. And if you mess it up, it sounds very strange to native speakers. So, learning a lot of colloquial phrases today, frankly. Okay, before we jump in, let me welcome students to the class. Hello, Heidi.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Sticking with me all day, Heidi? Woo!
My brain was half boiled.
Was it? Okay. Okay. Anyway, nice to have you back. Hello, Anna. Welcome, welcome.
Hello, teacher. Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you very much. Okay, I would also like to welcome Salwa.
Hi, Blake. How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
Fine, thanks.
Great. Welcome to the class. And also, let me welcome Arnaud. Hello, Arnaud.
Hello. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Where are you from, Arnaud?
From France.
Like I couldn't have guessed from your name. Okay. All right. Welcome to the class. Nice to have you with us. And
Thank you.
Herman has also joined us again. Hello, Herman. Again.
Yeah. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Hello. Okay. All right. We are going to be looking at different sets of synonyms and have you guys read a little bit about them, and then we're gonna we'll also look at some collocations within sentences. Anyway, we'll discuss them as we go along. So I'm going to do a screen share here, and we can get started talking about synonym pairs that collocate with other words differently. Okay, we're going to look at a chart here, and the A and B words in each pair in the table, not a chart but a table, sorry, have very similar meanings, synonyms. And very frequently we can use either one in a sentence and create a meaningful sentence. However, these collocations we're looking at, if you substitute the other synonym, it actually doesn't even make sense to a native English speaker. For example, first one here, Heidi, close and shut. Very similar meanings, close the door, shut the door. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so can you read the first example?
The chairperson closed the meeting at 4:30.
All right. And the second example.
She was very rude. She said, "Shut your mouth." impolite way to telling someone not to speak. A dentist might ask you to close your mouth. Shut is generally more informal.
Okay.
Mm.
Oh, really? Oh, definitely. Definitely, definitely. Okay, notice that we use close with words like meetings, discussions, conferences.
Because we say be quiet and shut up. Shut up.
Yeah, shut up is a little bit rude.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. You can never say, you can say shut up. You can't say close up. Close up has a completely different meaning. You're creating a phrasal verb with a totally different meaning. You close up the store at the end of the day. Okay. You close up a box of cereal after you pour the cereal out. You can shut the box. You could close the box, shut the door, close the door. But okay, so this is what the idea what we're looking at today. You close a meeting. You don't shut a meeting. A native speaker would not know what you're talking about if you said, "Oh, we need to shut the meeting now." They would just look at you like you've gone crazy. They couldn't understand those words together. Okay. General way to think about it. Think about meetings, discussions, conferences. These are more formal ideas. You close is generally more formal. So this is a valuable clue for you English learners. Shut is the more informal, even slangy kind of way to express this idea, whereas close is definitely used for more formal uses.
Close the meeting, we use wrap up.
Yep. I mean, it doesn't, not to say there are not other words that are possible. Absolutely. You can wrap up a meeting, for example. Absolutely. Right. Absolutely. But you just can't shut a meeting. Yeah. Shut is more informal. Also, shut is another way that sometimes these synonym collocation problems. Another thing is shut is used more for physical things. Shut a window, shut the door. Tends to be, because it's more informal, and close tends to be for more abstract ideas. Ideas in your head kind of thing. Okay. Next pair. Our next pair, Anna, let me quickly, before you start, let me quickly say hello to Rebecca. Hi, Rebecca. Welcome.
Hello, hi. How are you?
Hi. Good. Good to see you again.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, Anna. Go ahead.
Okay. Start, begin. It was a cold no start my car. Start, no begin is used for engines and vehicles. Before the universe began, time and space did not exist. Begin is preferred in more formal and abstract contexts.
Yeah, well, there it is. Often we have a synonymous word where we tend to use one for formal or abstract and a different one for more physical things. Okay, in addition to start your car, another one I've heard, a mistake I've heard English learners use is turn on the car. Turn on your car sounds really weird. Yes, you turn on the television, you turn on your lights, you turn on the air conditioner, but you definitely start your car. You don't turn on the car. It sounds weird. Even if you have an electric car. Okay. Okay. Do you have an electric car, Anna?
No. At the moment, no.
Okay. All right. Pardon me. Sorry. That's why at the beginning of a race in English, the announcer says, "Gentlemen, start your engines." Okay. Excuse me. Something caught in my throat there. Sorry. Okay. Now here it is. It is possible to say before the universe started, time and space did not exist, but began is a little better. And in general, began or began is going to work better for those more formal things. What else do you start or begin, Anna? Can you give me another example of each one, maybe? What is something else you start?
Instead of start, something I did with began. For example.
Well, for example, well, I just wanted you to give me another phrase with the verb and the object now. For example, you start a fire. There's a good one. You start a fire. You do not begin a fire. You certainly don't turn on a fire. Turn on the fire. No, it just doesn't work.
Yes. For example, I could say I began a new life. For example, I began my new life years ago.
Okay. And okay, with these words and their collocations, you could also say I started a new life 3 years ago. So there it is. You can often use start where you use begin. There are several cases where you just cannot use begin, where you use start. Usually with physical things, with start.
Okay. Okay. So began only I could use in sentence to refer like said in this context, time, space, but talking about the universe, I don't know. I don't understand very clearly.
Okay, you know what the difference between physical and abstract is?
Yes.
Okay. Physical is something you can point at, look at, see with your eyes, touch with your fingers is physical. You start a car, that's a very physical action. Brum, you hear a sound, you turn the key. It's very physical. You start a fire, you have to make motions and physically do something. Okay? You begin thinking about where to go to college. I can't see you doing that. I can't see it with my eyes. Okay. What I was saying is that for physical things that you start, like start a fire, you cannot say, it sounds ridiculous to say begin a fire. However, almost every case where you can use begin, you can use start. Before the universe started, I started a new life. I started thinking about where I wanted to go to university. Okay, that was my point.
Okay, I could say I have a question. Sorry, I began to cry.
Sure, I began to cry.
Or yes.
Mm-hmm. Sure. You can also say I started to cry. Mm-hmm.
In both things.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay, thank you.
I can't think of any uses of begin that you can't use start for, but I can think of a few uses of start where you cannot use begin. That's my point. Okay. Moving on. Soe. Okay, let's talk adjectives here. Big and large.
Okay. It was a big decision to make. There were some big problems to solve. I wanted a sweater. It's large size, but they only had medium.
Okay. Well, all right. Yeah. It's now this one's tough because I can't really give you any way to think about it, like formal, informal, abstract, concrete. I can't really think of a way to explain this other than case by case. We simply don't say it was a large decision. You have a large decision to make. We just don't say that. English speakers just never say that. And we also say big problem. We just don't say large problem. It's just not normal. It sounds strange. Now, any native speaker would know what you meant, of course, exchanging these two adjectives. Everybody would know what you meant. But in the case of clothing, well, Salwe, what sizes are there in clothing in English? Do you know?
Small, medium, large.
Yeah, and my size, Salwe. Extra large. Yeah, we don't have small, medium, big, large. We have small, medium, large, extra large, and then Salwe, XXL, extra large. Sure. There is no big. The ways of categorizing clothing sizes in English just do not include the word big. It doesn't exist. So if you use it, it sounds very strange. Okay. Onward. Arnaud, end and finish. Yes?
We talk about events. We say big event or large event or
Sorry, your volume is a little low, Salwe. Did you say events?
Yes, event.
Yeah, that's a little better.
When we talk about event, we say big event.
It's a really big event. Yes. That's an interesting point, Salwe. That's very interesting. It's a big event. I would say it's really important to the community. It's socially big. It's big in social aspects. That's very interesting, Salwe, because if I said it's a large event, I would be referring to the size, the area, the actual physical size. It's a large event. It covers over 50 kilometers. All right? That's very interesting. Interesting aspect, because we often use big to mean more like important. And we use large, generally always, you're talking about the size. Maybe that's the way. There it is. That's the way to think about it. Thank you, Salwe. That was the key right there. All right. So an important decision, a big decision, an important problem, a big problem. There you go. Big often kind of means important, whereas large just means size. Okay. There you go. Thank you. There's a way to think about it right there. Arnaud, next one. End and finish.
Okay, end and finish. The film ended with the hero dying. They ended their relationship a year ago. And here means decide to stop. Example B, I haven't finished my homework yet. Finish here means complete.
Okay, very good. All right. I think the explanations below in brackets are very good. So, Arnaud, can you think of another thing? What else is something that maybe ends? It ends, but it doesn't finish. What's another way we use end? What's something else that ends? How about Arnaud? How about the world? Does the world end or does the world finish?
The world end.
Yeah, it does. Nobody says the world finishes. I'm waiting for the world to finish. What? That doesn't even make sense, right?
Yeah.
For example, okay. All right. It's the finish of the world. No, it's the end of the world. Okay, what's one with finish, maybe? Okay. If you run a race, Arnaud, where do you end up? If you're in a running race.
I haven't finished.
Okay. All right. You end up at the finish line. You finish the race. Right.
Yeah.
You don't end the race. If you say you end the race, that means somebody decided to, okay, no more racing. Everybody, never mind. We're stopping the race. Somebody has decided to stop the race. If you end the race. You finish the race, that means you complete it. So there you go. This kind of decide to stop as opposed to complete idea, I think, is pretty consistent with those two words. Okay. Other groups of words with similar meanings. Okay. Okay. Let's just go line by line. Words meaning old. Herman, can you read this sentence, this first one? Words meaning old.
I met an old friend the other day. It is a very old building.
Okay. Now, there's other words, ancient, antique. You can't say, I met an antique friend. Although it's got,
friend?
No, that's very funny. It makes me laugh because it's funny. We only use antique about things, objects. It can't be used about people. Can you say, I have an ancient friend, Herman? Is it possible? My neighbor, I have an ancient friend.
Ancient friend.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think so.
No, not really. An old friend is an idea of somebody you've been friends with for a long time. Okay. Ancient just means extremely old. All right. So I can say my neighbor is ancient. He's got to be like 1,000 years old. He's older than Methuselah. He knew Moses personally. Okay. All right.
But I think you can use that if you have a friend that's been historical, like just like anything ancient.
Yeah, but we can't. We don't.
Like to use it to describe to people like I met an ancient friend.
Yeah, but it wouldn't mean he was very old. It wasn't mean that he's a good friend for a long time.
Oh, okay.
All right? It would change the meaning totally. You see?
Oh,
That's the idea. Old and ancient for things like a building. Of course you can have an ancient building, obviously. Okay. All right, well, we already talked about ancient, so I'm going to have the next person actually read the next couple of lines here. Maybe you should just do the whole section at once. Rebecca. Actually, you know what? Yeah, okay. The next couple of... finish old here. Do all of these. What the heck?
Okay. Well, I can see with because of the icons. Let me. I don't know is in your no you know the yeah, much better, but yes, now thank you. She studied ancient history. In ancient times, life was very hard. This shop sells antique furniture. She collects antique jewelry, old and valuable. I helped an elderly person who was trying to cross the road. Elderly is more polite than old.
You can say old person. Elderly is more polite. Okay, there you see ancient, usually not used for people. It can be. If it is used for people, it's actually sarcastic. It's funny in English to call a person ancient. Ancient means, you know, in times before writing happened. Okay. Rebecca, pronunciation of this word, it is antique.
Antique. Thank you. Antique.
That's it. You got it. All right. Only things can be antique, not people, not dogs. Nothing living can be antique. Also, antique can be a noun. My aunt collects antiques. Okay, I don't know what kind. We often use it as an adjective to express, because there's so many kinds of antiques, we generally define it by using antique as an adjective. But, you know, really, my aunt really, truly does collect antiques. She's got all kinds of junk. Rebecca, do you have any antiques?
Well, if you consider my grandmother's stuff, well, I have.
You have? Okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's neat. All right.
Some, you know, I think I have a watch from my grandfather. So it looks really. Can I say old or antique?
Okay. All right. I'm glad you asked. You can say it looks really old, and that makes perfect sense.
Yes.
Okay.
The appearance, maybe.
Right.
Its appearance is quite antique.
Yeah, you would say, oh, it looks very old. I think it's an antique. I think. Okay. Antique has a definite meaning of, besides old, valuable. So maybe you're not sure. Yeah, it looks old. It's definitely old. It looks valuable. It looks like an antique. I think it's an antique. Okay. And who decides when it's valuable? I don't know. Antique collectors and experts. Not me, that's for sure.
Professional people.
Yeah. I wouldn't know. That's what I would say. Oh, look at my watch. It is very old. It looks like an antique. I think it's an antique. Like that. Elderly person, okay, can also be called an elder in certain situations. Often with a possessive, he's my older brother, he is my elder. Okay, and so that he doesn't even have to be old. I can be 12 and he can be 16. He is my elder brother. All right, not elderly. This is a very strange thing, so wrap your hand around this. Elder brother just means he's older than you. All right, elderly means old, white hair, wrinkles, all of that. Okay, so keep that in mind. If you call someone an elder, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're actually old.
Another word, for example, aged.
Aged? Yeah, that's a good one.
Polite. No polite.
Yeah, an aged man, like that.
Yes.
No, that's polite. I think a little bit formal and polite. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. All right. There's a lot of impolite ways. Of course, we can call elderly people an old geezer, for example. Crotchety old man, an old curmudgeon, things like that. But okay, with meaning the adjective old. Okay, there we go. Moving on. 2. Words meaning with no one or nothing else or with nothing similar. Wow. All right. Okay. Well, first one here. Okay. Well, all right. Let's do a chunk here. Heidi, can you read, let's say, the first 3 sentences?
Yeah. Donna is a single parent. It's difficult for her to work full time. And some icon covered. Okay, he lives in a very lonely place, but up in the mountains. At first, I felt desperately lonely when I moved from London to the countryside.
Okay. Single parent, Heidi, means? What?
Only one parent. Only one
That's it. Mother or father.
father.
Okay. Either one could be a single parent. All right. A single. What else do we use single for?
Single, like a man or a woman, for not married.
She's a single. She's single. Okay. A single woman used as an adjective. That's right. Definitely. How about as a noun? I have a weird one for you, Heidi. Not really related to the meanings here, but if I want to get a bag of potato chips out of the vending machine and I ask you for a single, Heidi, do you have a single? What am I talking about? What am I talking about?
I don't know about the chips.
Do you have a single? No. Sometimes a $1 bill is referred to as a single. And my example is pretty good. You actually need a $1 bill for some reason. You might ask somebody for a single. Okay, but anyway, that's slang noun meaning. Okay. Okay, talking about lonely. I'm so lonely. A lonely place, a lonely spot. These are common collocations. You can be desperately lonely. Heidi, can you think of any other words besides desperately?
Hopelessly.
Hopelessly lonely. Oh, that's a good one. Desperately lonely. Anybody else in class think of some other ones with lonely? Desperately lonely, hopelessly lonely.
Could I say isolated?
Well, you could as a completely different adjective. All right, he feels isolated. Yeah, that's quite specific. You know, lonely is more.
It's not in this case appropriate.
Yeah. Maybe it's slightly different meaning. Lonely is more to do with the abstract feeling, and isolated is the actually physical fact you're not near other people.
No contact at all. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, desperately lonely.
Sadly. No.
Sadly lonely. Not really. It doesn't really work. I can't really think of any more myself. I know there's.
How about extremely lonely?
Extremely lonely, yeah. Okay. Extremely will go with a lot of adjectives. So, by the way, the word lonely, just because it has ly, it is not an adverb. It is an adjective. All right. There are ly adjectives. Be aware, not all ly's words are adverbs. Yeah, extremely goes with a lot of. Pretty safe adverb, goes with a lot of adjectives. Okay, let's do another chunk here. Anna, can you do this chunk?
Okay. I live alone, but I don't like traveling alone. Be with someone. Solitary figure. Why is deserted beach. One person. She was the sole survivor of the crash. Everyone else died. Only survivor.
Okay. You live alone. If you live alone, does that mean you're lonely? Anna?
No,
Very good.
because it is a different meaning. I don't know exactly to explain in English, but lonely is maybe I don't know. Let's see. To live alone is because you want to live in this way.
Sure.
Is when you don't have anyone else around you, family, relative, or someone else that help you in any situation. In my opinion, I think.
Yeah. You feel emotionally sad.
More or less.
Yeah. Right. That's right. Because you travel alone or live alone does not make you lonely necessarily. Notice the collocations. Solitary figure. Okay. Means, again, not lonely, but one single person. And the only reason you say a solitary figure, even we exaggerate it more by using that actual number, one solitary figure, one single solitary figure. Okay. You're basically exaggerating here, the idea.
Yes.
Yeah. Anna, did you have a comment or question?
No. It's for example when about I don't know how to say that about sing Hank. I don't remember the name. A solitary figure could be in an island, for example.
Right. So
I don't know.
Sure. So you're trying, or there's a vast expanse of space and there's one person. So you exaggerate the fact that there's only one. That's the idea. Do you know any other collocations with solitary? Solitary figure, solitary?
No.
Okay.
No. I refer when a cheap example. In an island only live one solitary figure. Maybe it's possible.
Sure. If you want to, anytime you want to exaggerate the idea that it's one person only, you can use this. Figure, of course, means you can't really identify the person. A figure. I saw a figure in the window. I don't know who it was. You don't. A figure means not a single solitary person came to my. Here's another way we say it: single, and again exaggerated. Solitary is really used in exaggerated things. Not a single solitary person came to my birthday party. Not a single solitary person. Often used to exaggerate that nobody or no one.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Solitary confinement is another useful collocation to know. Solitary confinement, when you're put in jail or prison by yourself. You're not allowed any other human contact.
Okay.
Okay. Next set of two here. Solway, can you read this last set of two?
Okay. an only child, I sometimes wondered what it would be like to have a brother or sister. This is a unique occasion with the three best prime ministers all together in one room.
Okay. Prime ministers. PM. Prime minister.
Ministers.
That's
Prime
better.
ministers.
Okay. So, hey, are you an only child?
No, I have one sister and two brothers.
There you go. Very good. Obviously, you understand this. Only child has no brothers or sisters. Great. Okay. So, in your culture, is it a good thing or a bad thing to be unique?
It depends. Unique in what?
That's a good question. Nice comeback. That's a very good comeback. You're very smart. Yeah. Okay. All right. You got me there. Absolutely. If you're a unique thief, obviously it's not good. Okay. If you're unique in your scientific knowledge, okay, then maybe it's good. All right. You got me there. You got me on that one. Okay. Unique, one of a kind. All right. Right. By the way, if somebody is unique or one of a kind, a person, that is, in English culture, American cultures, we would call this person a character. He's a real character. He's one of a kind. He's unique. I'll give him that. And this is actually somewhat of a compliment for an American. Somebody who's different than everybody else. That's a good thing. Okay, in some cultures, that's a very bad thing. That's why I asked that question, but in American culture, it's good to be different. Be unique. Okay, let's look at another table, another quick set of synonyms with different collocations. Arnaud.
Yes?
Charge and load.
Okay, I need to charge my phone. Use for batteries, electrical items. And example B, they loaded the lorry and drove away. Use for cargoes, lorries, vans, ships, etc. and for weapons.
There you go. Okay. This one's pretty straightforward, I think. I think you guys, everybody's so technologically minded nowadays. I think everybody knows that you charge a phone or charge your laptop. Right. There's this difference between charge and load, I think, has become more and more kind of obvious. However, I don't know. When you buy, for example, now this is interesting. I charge my phone. I'm charging it with electricity. I plug it in to the wall. I'm charging the battery. Arnaud, what does it mean if I load my phone?
I think it means that you put all your contacts, for example, or you record all your contacts in the phone.
That is an excellent guess, but not quite right. Okay, and I don't know if this is. I don't know how widely this is used. To be honest. Okay. And frankly, Arnaud, I would say I'm loading my contact list. And then what you said would be very true. I'm going to load my contact list. That makes sense, all right? And it makes sense to use the word load. If I buy a load, or if I load my phone, I don't know if this works differently in France or different places where you guys are from, but I'm an American. Right now I live in the Philippines, so it works a little differently. I can walk to the neighborhood store and buy 20 pesos worth of load, 50 pesos, 100 pesos. That means I have a certain amount of minutes of calls or texts that I can make. You know, there's a million different deals, but everywhere sells them. You can buy load anywhere here. I know this is not really the way it works in the United States. In the United States, you get a monthly bill and pay like the old phone bill style. But in the Philippines, almost nobody does. You can do that, but very few people do that. Everybody buys a load as they need it. You know, you can go buy just enough juice, just enough load to make one 3-minute call. It's easy to do that. Or to send 10 text messages or something like that.
Okay.
Like, all right. Okay, so that's what that, it can mean that. It can refer to actually buying service, is what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Okay, we do the same thing with Wi-Fi based internet here as well. You can buy load for your laptop. Anyway. Okay. Next one, Herman. Injure and damage. Okay, this is one I often hear language learners make mistakes with. Okay.
Yeah, 3 injured people were taken to the hospital after the incident.
Okay.
After the accident, sorry, and the shop tried to sell me a damaged sofa, but I noticed it just in a minute.
Just in time, yeah.
Just
Okay.
in time.
All right. The difference here, although these words have similar meanings, the difference is very, very concrete. All right. Injure, things to do with people, or actually, better definition would be animate things. You can injure your dog. Your dog can get injured. All right.
Sure.
But your dog doesn't get damaged. Damaged is for things. Inanimate objects, and injured is for animate objects. People, animals.
Okay.
All right. All right. Straightforward there. Here's another one I frequently hear English learners make mistakes with. Rebecca, last one here. Grow and raise.
Okay. Grow and raise. In the south, the farmers grow crops. Collocate with crops plants. In the north, the farmers mostly raise cattle. Collocate with animals, children.
Okay. There it is. Very straightforward demarcation, a straightforward boundary here. Grow is for crops and plants, or perhaps crystals. You can grow crystals, but you don't raise crystals. Raise is for animals and kids. I raised 3 children, like that. All right. That's it. There's no weird exceptions here either. Okay. Grow is sometimes used with more abstract ideas. I grow weaker every day. Or I've grown accustomed to the hotter temperatures, living in the tropics. Something like that. Which raise has nothing to do with. Okay, let's test ourselves here for the last 10 minutes or so. Let's see. Choose the correct collocation. Go ahead and read the sentence. Anna.
Okay, the dentist told me to close my mouth.
I hope so. If the dentist told you to shut your mouth, that would be very rude. All right. Okay, Solly, number 2.
I didn't know what to do when I got into my car and the start the engine.
Start the engine. Very good. Gentlemen, start your engines. All right, Arno, number 3.
I want to buy a sweater for my dad. He needs one in a large size.
Definitely. Very good. Number 4, Herman.
I haven't finished. I haven't finished or ended my essay yet.
Uh-huh.
I can't decide how to finish it.
Okay. Wait a minute, Herman. Should we use, for the first sentence, should we use finished or ended?
Okay. I haven't finished my. Let me see, please.
Mm-hmm.
Can I just? Okay. I haven't finished.
Okay, I haven't finished my essay yet. That's correct.
Yeah.
I haven't completed my essay yet. And the next sentence?
Finish.
No. Here, if we decide that something must stop, then we end it. I'm ending this relationship. All right? When a boyfriend or a girlfriend, wants to stop the romance, they end the relationship. They don't finish the relationship.
Why?
Why? Because they decide. The key word here, Herman, is decide. You make a decision. If you want something to stop, you end it. If you complete something, you finish it. All right?
Okay.
I finished work at 5 o'clock. Not I ended work. I completed work at 5 o'clock. All right. The movie ended really dramatically. Okay, somebody decided the ending of the movie. Okay, that's it.
Okay.
All right. Rebecca, number 5. Rebecca? Rebecca, are you there? Did I lose you? Did you lose connection? Hello, Rebecca. Okay. Anna, back to you. Number 5, please.
Okay. Number 5. Okay. At what time do you plan to close the conference?
Okay. The conference.
The conference.
That's it. Much better. Yes, but you are correct. Close the conference. Close we use for more formal or more abstract type things. That's good. Okay. Solway, number 6. Okay. And we lost Solway. Arnaud, number 6.
Okay. All societies develop their own stories about how the world began.
Yeah. Again, this weird collocation synonym pair. Usually, wherever you use began, you can also use started, but it doesn't go the other way. So you could have said started, and still it's fine. But began is better.
Okay.
Okay. All right, Herman, number 7.
It's far too big. It's far too large. Problem for it. Hold on. It's far too large. I think it's far too big a problem for you to solve on your own.
Sounds better, doesn't it? I agree with you. Okay. We use big when we kind of mean more like important. And we tend to use large where we're meaning actual physical size. Of course, big and large can refer to size. We all know that. So we think of them in terms of size. But big can also mean important. He's a big movie star. like that. Oh, yeah, he's the big man on campus. BMOC, big man on campus. He's really important. Big also has the meaning of important, but large does not. Large really does not mean important. Okay, so that's the difference. Rebecca, are you there for the last one? Nope. Okay, Anna.
Okay, 8. It's never easy to end a relationship.
Very good. Yes, because you have to make the decision to end a relationship. We use end there. Okay. Well, we probably don't have time to actually do any more exercises, but let's see if we can correct. Well, we don't have time. Well, who am I kidding? We are out of time. Sorry to say. We've only got like 30 seconds left. So, thank you, everyone, for joining me. Tomorrow, at the same time, actually, part 2, again, very similar today, we'll be looking at confusing synonyms and the collocations that they go with. So I hope you guys can join me tomorrow as well.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.